Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you. It's Mark here, and I thought I'd kind of give you a 1 month review of my experience with this Canyon Aeroad CF SLX bike that I purchased a little over a month ago in what they call this hot salsa color. I got to be honest with you, it's grown with me. I initially didn't really like it, but the bike came in and they were offering such a good deal on it, virtually $1,000 off with the Force group set, that I kind of had to jump on it. And I've got to tell you, overall, I'm very, very happy with the bike. I think it's an exceptional value for the money. Guys, this is a very fast and this is a race bike. And if you are not a really competitive cyclist and fairly strong, this might not be the bike for you. It's a manhandler. It rides extremely smooth, but it is built for speed. The wheels on this are very, very deep. They're powerful, and it takes some power to drive this. If you're more of a recreational rider, one of the endurance bikes might be a better choice than this. That being said, after a month, here are my thoughts on this, and I figured I would start with the cockpit since that's kind of where we all start. I'm about 5'8", weigh about 160 pounds. This is a size small bike that I have. I chose to do the cockpit at its narrowest setting, which I really, really like. It's just perfect for me. That may vary for everybody. I do have a Wahoo mounted to it, and I did elect to use Canyon's own mount that they have for it. I also have a Garmin. I couldn't find, or Canyon didn't have the Garmin mount in stock, so I bought an aftermarket one, which worked just fine. But I really prefer the Wahoo. The bars are really nice. I'll tell you, they feel good. It's very nice and very comfortable, even using without bar tape going the full length of it. I do find that the drops are a little bit more difficult for my small hands to get full control of particularly of the shifter, and the bar itself is significantly thicker than my previous bike, which makes it a little bit more challenging for my small hands. But otherwise, I love it. I virtually left it completely as it came, as far as not making any adjustments to the stem height or the stack at all. Now next, I thought I'd talk about the wheels. These wheels are made by DT Swiss. They use the 240 hubs. Folks, one of the nice things about the Canyon bike is the wheel set. Most bikes that you buy that are pre-built come, quite frankly, with pretty crappy wheel sets. That's where they, that's where they kind of compromise to give you the best value with their money. Canyon does not do this. This particularly DT Swiss wheel set, which we take a look at the top here, it's upside down, but this is the ARC 1400. It is a $2,500 wheel set. Yes, about $2,500. 52 millimeter depth in the front, 62 in the rear. It is a really good wheel set. It is fast. One drawback is it is very, very loud. Yes, when you are just literally backpedaling or just coasting, you are that one guy that is going to stand out like a sore thumb, and everybody is going to hear you. Personally, if I'm on the front and I'm stroking and I'm leading the group and I hear somebody coasting, I pick up the pace, because I don't feel that if I'm pulling on the front, anybody should be coasting. But you are that one guy that will be noticed. Trust me, because it is loud. And quite frankly, it does get annoying at times. But nevertheless, I really, really like it. As I've mentioned in my previous video, I did remove the Continental tires that came on it, and I put Vittoria Rubino Pros on there. This is a tubeless ready set. I did not set it up tubeless. In fact, one of the reasons I removed the Continentals, and I think I may have mistakenly done that, is because I blew the inner tube out the minute I put compressed air at the shop on the bike. And my experience with Continentals in the past has not been good. They're a handle to get off, and with the hooked rims that you have here, it's even tougher. So I put the Vittorias, which are easier to change. I did initially flat the first week that I had the bike. I hit a rock. Consequently, I didn't realize I had a small hole in the bike, and I flatted 2 more times over the course of the week. So I got used to changing the tire, which is a real pain in the ass. Still. But I kind of wish I had gone with tubeless, and I may very well do that in the future. So that being said, the brake system is that of SRAM's. It does use a thruwel axle, and you have to use a little tool to get the axle off. What you see right there, it's not too hard, or you can do it with an Allen wrench. The tool works better. But anyhow, as I mentioned, I did have a few flats, so I have gotten used to that. As far as the frame itself, it is a deep section frame. It looks deep. It is deep. It has really unique shapes, being very wide here in regards to the top tube and narrowing as you get to the seat tube. The post is very, very deep. And so far, I have not had any problems in regards to the noise that you hear everybody complaining about. I did mount these, what they call these oil slick cages on here. They look really sharp. They kind of look purplish in a way, but they do, however, corrode rather badly from sweat. And I bought both Lazine and this particular model. Both of them corroded. I stuck with this, and you can see the corrosion real badly there. I stuck with this just because they're easier to work with. I did buy red batteries. I think I had mentioned this in my other video, which I think look very, very sharp on this. The SRAM batteries are fine, and the batteries last forever. I mean, I have used these for a month and have not charged them yet. They're still, good at 100%. So no problems there. The crankset, I was initially concerned because this was a very, very, let me see, I believe this was a 48 tooth front crankset, and I initially had concerns because I'm used to pushing a 52 on my previous road bike and a 56 on my TT bike. But I got to tell you, the way this works with the 12-speed cassette on the back with a smallest cog of 10, guys, I have no problem keeping up with anybody at that. Anybody. And this thing climbs like a beast. I really do like the electronic shifting, which is new to me. I can head into let's say I'm heading into a very, very steep hill, and I've got about 30 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour that I'm doing going into it. I've gone into a hill literally at 40 miles an hour, hit it at about halfway up, drop it instantly into the small ring. At this point, I'm maybe doing 30, and I can keep 30 miles per hour all the way up to the top of the hill. I've done it dozens of times over the past month or so. It really handles well. It does not drop. It does not hesitate. It's clean, quick shifting, which I really like. A huge break for my mechanical shifter. Would in the past, under other circumstances, sometimes it would even drop the chain. I have not had that happen yet with this. Shifting has been flawless. The rear wheel, as I had mentioned, is a 62 centimeter depth. You have a 28 wide tire on the back and a 25 on the front. Works fine. They're comfortable. They're great. I really like it. As I mentioned, I wish I had kept the Continentals I came with on it, but that was my decision to make, and maybe a bad one, and in retrospect, a mistake, I think. But I do like the Vittoria tires. They has always been very, very reliable for me. Also didn't like the gray sidewall that the Continentals had, and I really like the black with Vittoria. Yeah, looks matter. I mean, I hate saying that, but it does. I mean, that's the reason some of us buy these bikes is we like the looks of it. And this bike looks very, very sharp. In regards, excuse me, regards to the seat, you'll notice this is not the stock seat that came with this bike. The bike came with a Selle Italia SLR, and if you have the same model that I have, this is probably the seat that you got with yours. Guys, it's a nice seat, but it just wasn't for me. I spent a month trying to break it in, and folks, it broke me in. It left me limping. It left my thighs sore as hell. I chucked it, and I spent a few $100s to pick up this Physic saddle, and this one is very, very sharp. This saddle is the Antares Versus Eva R3 Adaptive in black, It's 139 millimeter. It's very, very similar to the Arione saddle that I had on my TT bike, which I love, except it's about 10 millimeters shorter. It's really unique in that it's very firm here at the center, soft here, and it's 3D printed, by the way, whatever the hell that means. I mean, they even made guns 3D print. I don't know how they do it or how they make a saddle, but it's got the center channel here, so it supposedly relieves stress on that, which is important to us guys. Girls may not matter. But anyhow, it does work well. I don't even notice that it's there, and it's late as hell too. But if you don't notice that it's there, that is a very, very good thing. It has carbon rails as well, and it is just a unique and sharp looking saddle. And guys, this is the saddle that comes with this bike if you were to buy the Canyon Factory Racing or the CFR edition. If you get the red group set, you get this saddle with it stock. And I have a couple friends of mine that have this saddle and they absolutely love it. So that is the reason that I picked it up. And it is one significant change that I did make to this bike, and I am very, very happy with it. Well, folks, that kind of wraps up this review. You know, as far as functionality, this bike works absolutely well. It is good looking. It's not the lightest bike in the world, but if you're not a weight weenie, and we all could lose some weight, myself included, it probably shouldn't be an issue, but it is fast. As I had mentioned, I really don't think this particular model is appropriate for a cyclist who, you know, is like a Grand Fondo type cyclist, not an aggressive rider. It is set up aggressively in that you could set up less aggressively. I mean, I could have raised the stack height on it significantly, but I chose to keep it down because I wanted the aggressive style on it, which is different from the bike I had previously. Consequently, my shoulders and arms hurt for about 2 weeks until I broke it in, or it broke me in, one way or the other. But nevertheless, it is a very aggressive setup. It's an aggressive bike. It is a very, very fast bike. In 23 years, I've bought a lot of bikes, and I've never really bought a bike that I thought was significantly better or different than the bike I had before. It just came to time to upgrade it. And this is a good choice. It is a different bike. It is a faster bike. And I had a Pinarello Roca, which was an endurance bike before this. With shallow wheels. This has got very, very deep dish wheels. It has electronic shifting. I've never had that before. It has hydraulic disc brakes, which I have never had before. I was a rim brake guy. Well, now I'm not. And I'm happier and better for it. If you have this bike, I think you're absolutely going to love it. If you're thinking about buying it, they've got great deals on it, and I would highly recommend it. However, as I say, if you are more of an endurance or a Grand Fondo rider or not a really strong rider, this bike might not be the bike for you. Great bike. Wheel set is phenomenal. I think that's what really sets Canyon different from a lot of other guys out there is what they give you for the money. You get a great group set on this for $6,000, even though I ended up paying $5,000 for it, as you have heard in my other video. It comes with great accessories, a really good seat, even though I didn't like it. There's nothing wrong with that silly Italia seat. It just wasn't for me. Consequently, I got the Physique seat that you see right there. But most importantly, you get a really, really good wheel set. And no matter whether you get this or if you get their endurance bike, DT Swiss wheels are among the best in the industry. They are phenomenal. I love this wheel set. God, it's loud as hell when you're coasting, but it is a really good, solid, and well-planted wheel set that is very, very fast. If you are going fast, and I quote, your real benefits of this, if you are going fast, it is fast. Anyhow, so that being said, hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If they're more involved, you can always email me. I'll leave my email in the description, and I will happily chat with you. Take care. Thanks for watching.